Welcome to the Respectful Divorce Podcast. If you are considering a divorce, it is important to know that you have options for how you divorce. On the Respectful Divorce Podcast, we explore those options and provide advice from divorce professionals. We will also talk with divorce clients about what went right and what went wrong in their divorce. On today's edition of the Respectful Divorce Podcast, we talk with Warren Sachs, a financial professional in Sherman Oaks and Hermosa Beach, California. Now here's our host, Tim Crouch, with today's podcast.
We're talking today with Warren Sachs. Warren is a CPA and a divorce financial neutral in the collaborative divorce process in the Los Angeles and Orange County areas. Warren, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Tim. A pleasure being here.
So, Warren, the title of this podcast is The Respectful Divorce. In your opinion, what does it mean to have a respectful divorce?
In my opinion, a respectful divorce is when the two clients can exchange information freely in a manner that is collaborative, that is, I hate to use the word, but respectful to each other. I think the coach's role or the mental professional's role in the collaborative process really helps with the communication. It also means, as a financial, it means to me to be transparent and provide documents so we can make sure that both of my clients have the information that they require to choose the options that work for their family.
Is it the case that oftentimes in a divorce, it's the financial issues that create the most anxiety and perhaps negative kinds of reactions if you don't have that transparency?
I would say the financials and time sharing with their children are certainly two of the most contentious areas in any divorce.
And the lack of trust sometimes about, is somebody hiding something? How do you deal with those kinds of questions in a collaborative case?
Well, I think, and it's really important for me to have my clients provide documentation, because documentation creates trust. If somebody believes that one client is not reporting income, if you will, I can go through the business general ledger, I can go through the bank statements, and when the numbers are verified, I believe it creates more trust.
So how did you get involved, or why did you get involved in the collaborative divorce process?
Well, I'm a person, I started in forensic accounting, litigation, about 35 years ago, and being in court and working on clients' positions, I still do it, but it's not my preferred process. I prefer to work with individuals who aren't fighting about every last dollar, who can come to agreements given information. And for me personally, it just provides me with a much better feeling than going to court, fighting in trial. And I think it's, I hate to say it better, but I feel it's a better process for the clients.
My wife, Camille Milner, is a collaborative divorce attorney here in Texas, and she says that the neutral financial professional is the one who always figures out how to get to a settlement. How do you see your role in a collaborative divorce?
So my role is to provide financial options to the clients, and whether it deal with support, child or spousal support, or property, assets, liabilities, complex assets like perhaps business valuation, which I have accreditation in business valuation. I see my role as providing information to the team and the client so they can choose the option that works best for their family.
And is part of it that as you go through that process, you get the clients get a level of comfort with what their financial position will be after the divorce is over?
Well, certainly, again, I work with generally high net worth business owners or non-business owners that have complex estates, and looking at the financial results, whether that be through a community or separate property balance sheet where I allocate, there's going to be assets, debts, and liabilities. They can see how much they have, um, liabilities, how much they owe, how much they'll end up with, and then cash flow for support and showing the allocation of that cash flow to the family. I think that generally gives them some expectations on how to move forward. Now, there are many neutral financials in the collaborative process that will prepare projections and help clients in that capacity. I don't do projections, but I have worked with in a large estate. I have referred some of my clients or suggested to my clients various neutral financials who can help them with that. And if they desire those services, I think they're very beneficial.
And your skills as a CPA, how do you use those in the collaborative process?
So I think the same holds true of what I just spoke about. In California, where I'm in, for example, preparing a valuation takes certain techniques and styles. It's an art, not a science. So I have to apply certain accrual-based concepts to the balance sheet of that business. I have to consider goodwill. And all of this was something that I learned as I became educated as a CPA. So we're following a lot of the framework of what, of various positions or theories that would be used in court. But what I've learned, Tim, is the worst thing for a client is to have that litigation attorney who positions a client to believe that there's only one way of looking at something, and they come in very positioned, don't want to negotiate, don't want to settle because it's either their way or the other client is wrong. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I think it's using the skills of the CPA, preparing the reports that I prepare, but presenting them in a manner that shows, if you will, both ranges that clients may consider, so they can use what's best for them. And in the collaborative process, another benefit is you can swap. You in California, again, community property is allocated 50-50. Sometimes that doesn't work for my clients. Sometimes one of my clients will need more cash flow, property's not as important, or vice versa. And we can do what's best for the family in the collaborative process.
Right. So if someone wanted to have a consultation with you to talk about divorce financial issues, how should they prepare for that conversation?
Well, I would be talking to them about their estate, where they're at in the process, their cash flow. I would certainly introduce the concepts of the collaborative process, my role in the process being neutral. If they knew something about their estate, it would be helpful.
And
Their
then,
financial estate.
and then when the process begins, what kinds of documents are you looking for that someone may be wanting to start work on pulling those things together? What would those things be that would help to get the process going from your perspective?
Well, certainly, we want to start with the tax returns, but that's just the first step. The next step is identifying all of the assets, liabilities, their cash flow. We have to do that. In California, you have to prepare and exchange what's known as a schedule of assets and debts and an income and expense declaration. And many times in my collaborative cases, the team will decide that I might be the best person because of my role to assist our clients in preparing those. Again, depending on my assignments, whether it's stock options, restricted stock units, business valuation, separate property tracing, whatever it is, it could range from agreements to bank statements, general ledgers. I mean, it depends on my assignments in that case.
So if somebody wants to get a little more information about you and the collaborative process, are there some good websites that you would recommend?
I happen to be involved in many collaborative umbrella groups like Collaborative Divorce California. My name is listed on Collaborative Practice California as well. I'm a board member and the treasurer of Los Angeles Collaborative Family Law Association. I'm also a member of 3 practice groups, those being Family Divorce Solutions of the San Fernando Valley, the Los Angeles West Side Collaborative Divorce Professionals in Los Angeles, and a Better Divorce in the South Bay of the Los Angeles area.
All right. Well, Warren, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Tim. It's been my pleasure.
We've been talking today on the Respectful Divorce podcast with Warren Sachs. Warren is a CPA and a divorce financial specialist in the collaborative divorce process. You'll find links to those websites that he mentioned in the show notes.
Thanks for joining us for the Respectful Divorce podcast.